Hi everyone, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Well, not me, but at least the building that I'm looking at, which I think is a good start for a tour. Kind of gives you the right vibe. Nice building to start with. Hi Natalie. Hi Christine. Hi everyone. Good to see you all. Welcome to my live stream from the 19th century area of Tbilisi. For those who don't know me yet or haven't seen me for a while, hi Sharon, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Anna and I'm a licensed tour guide to St. Petersburg and Israel. And for some reason I'm in Georgia, in the heart of Georgia, in the capital of Georgia, the country that is Tbilisi. I know, you can say Tbilisi, it's okay, or you can just stick to the 19th century name, 18th century name, Tiflis, which is also fun because we are exactly in the area where if you go back in time, that's exactly what they would say, Tiflis. Hi Cindy dear, hi Sandy, good to see you all. So what am I doing in Georgia? Oh, for a year and a half I've been living here and exploring the city and the country. As you know now, also we can arrange all sorts of tours around Georgia. So this is basically me exploring, and every time I walk down the streets here in Tbilisi, I come across something new, and I also get to meet some fantastic people on my way. And I can't wait to take you on this stroll. And this is also my first live stream from Tbilisi in about 2 months, because as you know, I was away. I spent about 6 weeks in Israel and did tons of live streams from there. Basically every weekend I did at least 2 live streams, and also there were some other streams in Jerusalem, so Tel Aviv. Hi everyone. So I haven't seen the city for a while. I missed Tbilisi, and apparently, as I also mentioned it on my Instagram post, the city missed me too, because it just within like couple of just 2 streets that we're going to explore. Hi Dorley dear, hello. I'm just happy that you're feeling better, and I'm sending you a big hug and a big kiss. It's a pity that we didn't get to meet. We did try, but well, next time in January when I'm in Israel, we definitely see each other. So, because like honestly, just last week early in this week, I just took a stroll in one of the areas where I feel, well, it's one of my most favorite neighborhoods because it's 19th century. It looks a little bit like Europe, very much like St. Petersburg, and with a Georgian vibe and something else. Something very magical, I would say. And I discovered so many new things. So that's why this weekend, today, and also tomorrow, same time on Sunday, I will be taking you for a stroll, literally in the area behind my back. By the way, we haven't really been there before, so it's the premiere, but some places during this tour will look familiar because, like, for example, let me flip the camera finally and show you this gorgeousness, beauty, and opulence. It's great that you all greet each other, good old friends. That's what I really like about the tour. And I think this building is a very good place to start with because it kind of really sets the tone. Not all the buildings we're going to see in our way are this magnificent, but they clearly kind of represent the vibe of the times. Hi Ronnie, good to see you. First and foremost, let me show you the flag of Georgia. It's a very important day for Georgia today because it's the municipal elections. Georgia is now electing 60-something deputies, for different cities and counties of Georgia. And because of that, some streets are blocked. Yesterday, there was a day off for official institutions, which was a surprise even for Georgians. It was just announced to public like in the evening on Thursday. So So, well, yeah, I know that that definitely affected some of the plants and messed with somebody's plants, but it's okay with us. The only thing I am a little bit concerned with that sometimes in some areas where we might encounter some like internet glitches, but I hope we'll be fine. So let's have a look at this building. What is this? First and foremost, just the details. We know that the devil is in the details and the beauty is in the details. Look at these Loreleis. Look at all these details. Look at all these. Oh, look at all. And also protests. That's what I forgot is the protests. But I'm sure you remember last year, December, November, January, it was all over your news. So history basically repeats itself, and it's quite likely we may encounter some of the protests, but I'm taking you to the area where it is very, very unlikely. But you never know. So the building we're looking at, it is now, I guess with Earl, with all the opulence and also with the winged helmet of Hermes, the Mercury god of commerce and trade, I think they're pretty much clear that this is the building of a bank. Plus it says the TBC Bank. However, it's the modern institution that is housed in this building. It's one of the biggest banks in Georgia. But actually, what it used to be, it was a bank from the very beginning, starting from 1880s. This was the bank, as it says here. I hope you can see, Société Économique des Officiers. My French is non-existent, so please forgive me. But you can see this is the same building. I mean, honestly, to find, I don't know, find the difference, find 5 differences. Okay, the posters, the name, but other than that, the building is very, very much the same. Of course. Well, and this was not just a bank. This was a state bank. It was the bank that was established by the Romanovs to support the officers. The thing is that in the 1870s, after another Russian-Turkish war, we had tons of them, and that one was horrible for Russia. So Russia lost the bank system. The military system, first and foremost, was very much outdated, and it needed a lot of improvement and reforms. So one of the reforms that was made that kind of was really a game changer, that the Russian officers were allowed to work, run businesses, and do other things, because before that they were not allowed to have any other source of income other than the army, and they were underpaid. Obviously, they were given horrible salary. Honestly, it was just they earned very little money, and that did not really add enthusiasm, right, to the officers, like why they would be dying for if they just paid this little, and other things. So among many other reforms, which we may talk about some other time, finally there was the commerce, business. They were allowed to run business, and there was a bank that provided loans, more often than not, with a very, very low interest rate, with very, very good discounts and conditions to officers. So this was the Romanovs initiative. Can I go? Thank you. I'm trying to cross the street here, but Georgian drivers are not the friendliest in terms of letting the pedestrians cross. So mind that. But other than that, they are the nicest people. Yeah, but on the road, you don't really know whether this person is nice. So just be careful when you do that. And from here, I think this building looks even nicer. There are trees over there, and there is also a bunch of stories to talk about and lots of things to talk about, but we will do it tomorrow. As I said, tomorrow we are starting the tour, same time, in a slightly different area to cover what we will not be covering today. Thank you for the heart. Yeah, it's a lovely building. And this kind of sets the tone. So we are in the area that was full of international banks, businesses, and also the architecture. Why so? Because this is the area where a lot of Europeans lived, so-called German colony. And you may remember my last year tours, last season, I took you around this area. I told you the history of many German families that lived here. And there are a bunch of new things that I discovered and new information, so I might take you there on my fall walks too. Since we're looking at this arch is a new one, by the way, but the style is very recognizable. This is clearly Art Nouveau, and I think that this arch looks really nice and really matches the eclecticism of the house that we were just looking at. So as I said, more stories to come tomorrow about that area. There's one gentleman I want to show you here, however, since his bust is just on our way. This is Kote Marjanishvili. Well, he is the theater director, one of the most popular ones of the 20th century. Just in case, that's him, Kote Marjanishvili. Marjanishvili is also a metro station. And in case you're planning to come to Georgia and to Tbilisi, there is a metro station also, Marjanishvili. In the metro station, you can find also a monument to him. He was one of the, I would say, revolutionaries of his time. He was, well, his performances were always different, avant-garde, and as you know, the let's say the 1910s and 1920s were quite, I would say, stormy years, to say the least, in the political sense, economical sense, and just, well, basically in all the senses that you can think of, they were challenging. Georgia was first part of the Russian Empire, and when the empire collapsed, for the 3 years, Georgia enjoyed its independence, and it was the republic with, I would say, very European, I would say, very liberal views. I just want to have another look at the arch that we just walked through. And this arch is really a separation for us from the noisy street. And I hope that it will remain like this. I will probably zoom it in a little bit. This looks like a really nice postcard opportunity. And regardless the fact that this is a modern archway, I think this is just a nice kind of entrance for us to dive into the, I would say, quieter areas of the city with lots of local stories. The interesting thing, and we will come across this as the tour goes, that the sister of Kote Marjanishvili was a nun. She became a nun long before the revolution. She got the name Tamara or Tamar. She was a nun. Well, we say it in Russian, Higumenia, which basically means he was one of the, I would say, well, senior sisters in the convent. And she, before the revolution and even after the revolution, she was just absolutely the absolute opposite of her brother. They were brother and sister, they were siblings, they were from one and the same family, but she let me cross here if possible. But she was absolutely different from her brother, who was. It's not like Marjanishvili supported the revolution and supported the obviously the annexation, invasion of the Bolshevik troops into free Georgia, independent Georgia in 1921. But he was an avant-garde himself, and those were the times when he could create freely and experiment. And that was the time for a lot of freedom in general for many people, for many creative people. And but his sister tried to do the difference. She tried to, well, she didn't do anything politically, but this building, I think, pretty much explains even kind of what I'm trying to get at. She tried to preserve churches. She tried to preserve icons because obviously the Bolshevik, the Soviets, couldn't care less about the churches and the preservation of the interiors and icons. Churches were looted, and she tried to oppose that. For that, she was sent into exile, and she died from the complications that she got after she was in the exile inside, well, in one of the convents far away from her monastery where she served, and that was it. So there were two very different, and shortly after that, by the way, he also passed away. Kotar Majinishvili himself, he passed away in the 30s. Nevertheless, he left the immense heritage, and the building we are looking at is quite timely, designed in the neo-Russian style. And you can see here a lot of features of old, like traditional Russian churches, right? Like the ones you could remember from the Red Square, or the Pilblat Cathedral I showed you on my tours of St. Petersburg. Well, it's indeed so, and it's not a coincidence. This building was constructed in the end of the 19th century, and this was the time when neo-Russian style and a lot of, I would say, neo styles were came into their own. There was neo-Gothics, neo-classicism, again, the revival of many different features. And one of the styles that was very often used by the Romanovs, by the Russian official institutions, would be in the neo-Russian style, like taking you back to the traditional Russian values in architecture and the traditions and the values. So this was the educational facility. This was the school. This was the second gymnasium for boys. Now this is the ministry. This is the headquarters of the Ministry of Education. And as you can see, there's any indication and there's no connection with Russia at all. You see Georgian flag with 5 St. George crosses and the flag of the European Union that I think pretty much reflects the values. But it's interesting that it's located in this building that's the entire, I would say, the entire interior, if you can say so, an exterior. I'm not sure about the interior, however, I was never really inside. I've never been inside. It's not so easy to get into these buildings, and I'm not really that eager to. But if I'm ever given a chance, I will use it. But it's just interesting to see that the architecture of the building has an agenda. But as you can see, it's a bit of different times. The interesting thing is that one at the same time, in the 1910s, before the revolution, shortly after that, obviously the gymnasium would be closed, and a new chapter would start. But there are two interesting characters that started in the school at one at the same time. The first one is Lev Kamenev. This is basically a screenshot from Wikipedia, which would be I think it's the easiest for you to find if you ever want to dig a little deeper into this. So Lev Kamenev, as you can see, he was the deputy chairman and the Council of People's Commissars of the Soviet Union. You can see the years he served in this position. So he was one of them. He was one of the, I would say, associates with Vladimir Lenin and the revolutionaries. So he started in Tiflis, in Tbilisi, and by the way, he was a Jew. His name was actually Rosenfeld, and as you may know from my numerous tours on the Jewish heritage, well, a lot of revolutionaries were actually Jews, especially those in the early years of Lenin's administration. Many of them were Jews, and they were pushed to, force the revolution on the people because of the horrible conditions and restrictions that the Jewish people had been living under for a couple of hundreds of years. And Lev Kamenev studied here, which actually gives you the idea that this school was international. Tbilisi was always a very international city, or maybe better say even has always been. And in this school studied Russians, Georgians, Armenians, Jews, who else? And those were Christians, Muslims, Jews. They didn't really care. So at least this was kind of quite more, I would say, cosmopolitan. And another interesting character who studied here was Pavel Florensky. Another interesting story here. Pavel Florensky is quite well known in Russia and in Georgia too. And he studied in the school the same time with Kamenev, Rosenfeld. Pavel Florensky, and now I'll start moving a little bit. Pavel Florensky was a monk. As you can see, he was a priest and a monk, but he was also an engineer. He was also a biologist. He did a lot of research, especially in the Soviet times when church activity was not encouraged, to put it mildly. He did a lot of research in first in electricity, and he wrote a lot of research papers on the connection between the electric field and and also he connected this and asked me how. He's known as one of the great philosophers of the 20th century in the, I would say, kind of religious, kind of religion-wise, and he tried to connect nature and religion. So a lot of philosophical works that he wrote, and he based it on some scientific observations. And also he studied art, and he developed several theories on the composition of Russian icons. Very interesting, and two very different people studied at one at the same time. Yes, exactly. So Pavel Florensky, he lived in Tbilisi. He was from the originally aristocratic family. This is another reason why he was so oppressed during the Soviet time. This is very right. And not only was he was not allowed to, for any church activity. I'm not even sure that he was allowed to run any services. I don't think so. But also because he was from an actually aristocratic descent, so he was not really that much loved by by the Soviets. So eventually, in early 30s, he was exiled, and then in 1937 he was executed. That was it. So he spent the last 6 years of his life in prison. In exile in a monastery, which felt like a prison anyway, because he couldn't escape from there. You know, the Solovki. It's a kind of a well-known name, and then he was executed. That was it. So that's just a little bit of history. But as you know, on my tours, I also like to, to experience things, right? I don't want to be too nerdy, and as much as I like history, I also like to share with you some experiences, some taste, something visual, something special. So let's see what we've got in here. So I was here the day before, and I asked the managers if I could film. And this is an interesting place. By the way, I'm not even sure what I call it. Is it like repurposed coffee bags? I'm not sure, but it looks gorgeous. So I'm not even sure what the name of the place is. I need to ask. I was just, walking down the street one day, and I think it's like a coffee bean bags or something. And I'm not even sure what this is, but it looks nice. It looks like a garland made of this roses. Oh, sorry, my gimbal cannot cope with that. Yeah, I think this is way better. So I will just move a little bit backwards. I don't even know how to name this place, but this is a treasure trove. So the manager of the store told me that it's kind of a family business, and they bring goods, interior stuff, also dishes, cutlery, some art objects from Europe, mainly Netherlands. Yes, Netherlands and Belgium. And they sell it here. There's a lot of pre-owned stuff, some vintage stuff, and they allowed me to film inside. But there is a but. Part of the place is actually underground. And they told me that the connectivity might be really patchy. So I will go inside. I will try to film there. If you lose me, I will get out and I'll show you the video that I filmed for you earlier today. As you know, I always come in advance for my tours. I always try to test the connectivity. It doesn't really help, because once the connectivity is okay, and then the connectivity is appalling, and there's nothing I can do about it. But at least, I tried. So if you lose me, I will leave the place and film for you. Well, show you the film. Charming place. Somehow reminds me of Mediterranean towns. This place? Do you mean? I don't know. It does have an interesting vibe, not a Georgian vibe, absolutely. So, but since I was allowed to film, I think it's totally fine to go and try. The thing is that I'm wearing a backpack and the place is narrow. There are some people inside. I also try not to film people. So please forgive me if it gets noisy or too quiet or anything. So, you know, it's the real-time situation. We're live streaming. We're live streaming. We're live streaming. So, but I got the permission, so this is the most important thing. Just let me check how it's going. Very good. Okay, let's go. Again, you may lose me at some point, but what I won't be able to show you live, I'll show you on the video. So this is about the vibe of the place. You will see here a lot of familiar stuff, you know, the blue and white, the Delft tile thing, Delft-like stuff. Look at all this. Natalie, it looks so Dutch. I mean, even, I don't know how all these things are. Okay, some of them may be really vintage stuff, some may be modern, but again, this is, and the prices are very reasonable, very reasonable. And there are a lot of people, a lot of locals, so people know where to come. People know. You see? You see? And there are several rooms to go, like this. Several rooms. And actually, I need some, you know, some coffee cups, small espresso cups. So maybe at some point, I'll find some that I really like. So, ooh, what is that? I don't know, but it looks cute. So as I said, there is this like mostly vintage stuff. Well, these are not, you know, I like minimalistic stuff. Well, this one is just 5 lari, which is $2, $2 US. Honestly, this thing for milk, I'm not even sure how much this is, but we can always ask. I'm not sure if you can see me. Please let me know in the chat every once in a while if I'm, you know, if I'm here. Okay, I don't want to jinx it, and I don't want to rely on these things. Look at this. That's great that you can. Look at this. Wow. Look at these. All these dishes. Oh, I mean, who would need to buy new stuff if you have this? Thank you, Patakar. Thank you, everyone. So this lamp is definitely not very new. I like that big plate, very Dutch, right? It gives me very Dutch vibes. I like how it looks with this Venus kind of lamp. Again, I don't know how old these things are. I'm sure you can ask and find out stuff about it. Oh. And mind you, we are in the cellar of the 19th century house. Look at the lamps. Look at the lamps. I want to show you one over there. That one is clearly old. Like really old. There's one next to some china vases. This is one of those former gas lamps, I believe. Not sure. I'm not a specialist, but it does look pretty old to me. It doesn't have the lamp itself, but you get the idea. Well, it's broken, but this was definitely upgraded at some point. Not very successfully, but you get the idea. Here is something I want to show you, and I want to show you some pieces of furniture. Like this one over here. It's 1,700 lari, which is $500 or so. No, hold on a sec. No, it's a bit more than that. It's kind of $700, around that, $700 US for this gigantic furniture piece. It's like a cupboard. I mean, and it looks as if it's in a really good condition. Lovely. I love it. Absolutely love it. And again, locals come here. A couple of days ago, I was here. Well, no, like 4 days ago, I was here for the first time, and I have no idea why I had never been here before, because I passed this place multiple times, and I never saw it. But a few days ago, there was a big truck, and people were buying some furniture, like an old desk, really 19th century, amazing. Or this. I don't see the price tag, but look at this. Meow. Oh, wow. That's it. I'm almost stuck in there. Meow. And look at this. So I think it's a mixture of like new furniture, some old furniture. I don't know how old this is, but it looks like proper wooden closet. I don't know if you can sleep in those, because I know that in the Netherlands there were closets where you could sleep in. It does look a little bit like that. It looks very like welcoming, and it looks like a very, very good woodwork. Yes, very good. Wow. Let me step back so you could actually, see it all. Hold on a minute. There you go. And now let's go back, because there are a few things I want to see as well. I'm so grateful to the people that they let. Well, I try not to film without a permission. Plus, in places like that, it might be quite, they may be quite sensitive about it. Some more old-style lamps, but I think they all now run with the lamp. Yeah, they have lamps. Here you can also just add the lamp, so it has the wire, but it's like the old-style lamp. Okay. So let's see. Ooh, look at all this cute stuff. Look at all these chickens. I'm not sure what these are. Probably nothing. No, they're just empty. Quite heavy, by the way. Yeah, please. Quite heavy. These are really interesting. Really nice. I don't know. Well, I need something for my coffee machine. My mom last year brought me a coffee machine, so now it saves me a lot of money, because I don't need to buy coffee from, coffee shops. I sometimes still do, but I really like these coffee mugs. I really like them, and you know what? I might actually buy them. What do you think? It's only 7 lari. 7 lari is like $3. Well, let's see if there is a big line or not. If not, then we could do that. Don't you think? No, we can do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. I know you've just lost me. Got this kind of, I know you lost me. It was exactly when I was trying to buy the mugs, well, the cups, the coffee cups. Give me one more try. Am I back? I'm back. Very good. There's an interesting jar over here. Interesting jar. I'm not going to buy it, but it's kind of a shops when you kind of start wanting to buy things you actually don't need, right? Nice one. It looks very Dutch to me. I don't know if there's any information about it. No, nothing, but it looks Dutch. Very Dutch. Oh, it's even more beautiful from this side. Maybe those aren't the cups. Maybe. You're right. But I like those. I like something minimal. I like white and blue. I don't want the excessive designs. I'll just come back once again, just to see if this is like my. And if not, then not. Okay. Shops like these are dangerous. Yes, they are. Is it no sound for everyone? Let me know if you have the sound. Let me know. So, is there a sound? Looks like there is a sound. And now I need help from someone. I need help. There. Okay, am I here? Please let me know if I am. Yes, okay. Just stop for a few seconds. Oh, okay, that's fine then. So what do you think of these ones? Shall I buy them? What do you think? You know? It's good, they're not too small. I can add some milk, I can add some cream. They look cool. I like them. So, what I need to do is that since I don't have a spare hand, I don't know if I can do that. So I may. So I'm taking 3 and then I come back for the 3 plates for them. Sorry. Hi, I will come back with the plates. Вы по-русски?
По-русски, да.
Я сейчас еще 3 тарелочки принесу. Это 7 вместе с тарелочками? Маленькие блюдечки?
Да.
Угу, сейчас. Можно по карте?
Да, можно.
Okay. So now I'm going back for the plates. So now you see, you do some dish shopping with me. Guys, you are part of the family now. You are part of the family now. So let's see what it says. What does it say? Ardsberg. No idea what this is, but I know this is way cheaper than in the stores. Cheaper than in the IKEA, and we don't have IKEA here. And they're just simple and elegant. That's what I think. I'm not getting this, but this is definitely part of the team. But I'm not getting this. I don't need that. I only need 3 mugs, well, cups, coffee cups. That's it. That's it. Сакартвело? Сакартвело. Я не могу перевода, у меня телефон в эфире. Я могу по карте.
Ну, в машине я дарю этим вам.
Чего? Зачем вы мне их дарите?
Потому что вы этот сегодня.
Ну да, я вчера спрашивала разрешение.
Да.
Вы что, серьезно? Вы что, издеваетесь?
Просто,
У меня есть 10 лари наличками. Давайте я 10 вам отдам. Нет, ну как так? Ну как? Okay, you know what's going on? I was just about to pay my 7 multiplied by 3. 21 lari. But they're not taking the money from me because I'm a blogger. Вы абсолютно уверены в этом?
Да.
I just asked if they're sure about it, and they say yes. Oh my goodness. Дири Мадлоба, я могу заплатить, правда?
Нет, не надо.
This is so sweet. Oh my goodness. This is so sweet. I'm so touched. I don't like freebies. I'm not a freeloader. You know that. Wow. I'm blushing. Oh my goodness. There is one very special place I'm taking you afterwards. 2 special places I'm taking you afterwards. This is so sweet. This is so sweet. Oh my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. This is so sweet of them. Very, very nice of them. Let's see what else they've got in here. Well, these look, they're kind of behind the glass screen, so maybe they look quite old to me. I'm not sure how old. They're not too expensive, but maybe because they're fragile. That's an interesting place. I mean, you can really, it's like a scavenger hunt. You can really find some gems here. Можно взять?
Ага.
Спасибо вам большое.
Значит,
Диди
вот
Мадлова.
тоже.
Спасибо большое.
Нахвамдис.
Нахвамдис, нахвамдис.
Ага.
I, I mean, I did not expect that. You know, we got these. I was ready to pay. I still feel so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. I so much need a drink. I so much need a drink. And the next place we're going to, actually, for the next place I'm planning to take you, we're going to need a drink too. So that's why we are coming here. Okay. Tamadjova. Do you speak English? I was here a couple of days ago, met Victoria, and she told me I can come and live stream a bit from your place. Are you Nino?
Yes.
Hey, okay, Nino. Hi. Can I film you?
Yes, why not?
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me a few words about this place for my audience? Just a little bit.
We have everything from Georgia. We have wines or tea or mountain honey. And yeah, you can
Mountain
taste our honey and also wine. Where are you from?
Actually, I'm kind of both from St. Petersburg and Israel. And my husband was here a couple of days ago, Misha. He told me.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I need a good cha-cha that was stored in oak, oak barrel.
Yeah, of
For
course.
my mom-in-law. And I also need a small drink too.
This one.
Okay.
This one is very soft, not strong one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what are these? Also cha-chas?
Yes, small ones. This one is a sweet one.
Okay.
It's sour.
Okay. So, okay. Peach. Okay. So the thing is, yes, the cha-cha. So what is cha-cha? Cha-cha is a grape vodka. It's usually very strong. It's like 50 or 40%. This one is 40%, which is like, baby cha-cha. You're really like a baby cha-cha. But there is also a different kind of, cha-cha that is much stronger. Well, here it's only 40%, but there is also 50. I saw 50, well, but that's not the case. So cha-cha is a grape vodka. Peach looks nice, so I may definitely take the peach, the small one. And the place that I want to take you next time, I mean, not next time, after this one, I will definitely need a drink. I will explain later, okay? I will explain in a minute. Yes, exactly. Now that I have the cups, I can do that. And I also need to be brave for the next place. I will explain. So I need to just adjust my microphone. So can I buy it from you?
Yes.
Yes. So I want to take this cha-cha. That's from my mom-in-law. I want to take the small peach one. And also, that's it.
Okay.
That's it for now. I will come back tomorrow too for some tasting. Can I buy with the card? Yeah? Okay, very good.
You have YouTube channel or?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel. I just need to find my card. Wait a second.
30 lei.
Okay, just give me a moment. I just need another hand, but I don't have it. So, okay, let me find my card. So our family friends are now here, and I want just to kind of send a little gift to my mom-in-law, Emma. And Emma, she's kind of a cha-cha woman and cognac woman, a vodka woman. Not like wine is not really her cup of tea. Oh, what a pun! What a pun! So tomorrow I'll be coming back for some wine. So wine next time. Today I need something stronger, so I'm going for cha-cha. I will explain why.
Can you write your YouTube channel?
Sure, I can. And Anna Levina.
What's your name?
Guide. Yeah, Anna Levina guide. Yeah, Anna. Okay. So I have just subscribed myself. You're subscribed. I have a new subscriber, which is lovely, which is very sweet. Let me show you what we've got here. But as I told you already, we will be coming back here tomorrow for another kind of stroll. But for today, ooh, well, today is definitely not wine day. Today is a cha-cha day, and I will explain. And also, it has here the jams, homemade jams, some homemade honey. You know, from the mountains, honey with the nuts. Sorry. And also some artworks. Pirosmani, obviously.
You can.
And wines, but we'll be back for wine tomorrow. Today is a cha-cha day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye, have a nice one. So, let me explain what's going to happen now. My dear friends, it's still a bit too bright for me, so I'll just it looks like it's a lovely place, and if I bought it, it means the price is reasonable, because otherwise I wouldn't be buying from here. This is not a touristy place, so the moment we enter through this archway, we kind of left behind all the touristy stuff, all the banks, all those buildings, because the area here is way simpler, I would say, just very different vibe. So what we're going, well, let me show you where we are. There's a bakery, you know. That's the store we've just been to. The archway is just there. As you can see, this street, I have to be very quick. You see all these buildings, they're cute, they're small, they are nowhere as opulent as the other ones, you know, that we saw, let's say the bank building, and this is a kind of quiet street. I also like the way the golden hour looks, and the sunshine and the trees. Yeah, exactly. So this type of places, they are small. You have to know them. They are like pure gems. And there are so many stories I could have shared with you today, but I'd rather keep them for the dessert for the next time, for tomorrow. So tomorrow, same time, we're going to explore this area, taste wine, and a lot more. I promise, a lot more. But what we are doing today is very different. And for this, I need cha-cha. Okay, so so we are now going specifically just to one house. The street is just around the corner from here. I walked here yesterday with my friend. And, you know, I like just to explore places. And, well, I didn't expect to see a house like that. Again, the street looks very unassuming. Let me show you. The street looks very unassuming. Just the small houses, you know. You can see, this is clearly middle-class merchant families lived here. These are the houses from the 19th century. No opulent bank buildings, no palaces. Very, I would say, well, not ordinary, because it does have this, you know, old vibe. But there's clearly something. And there is one building that totally blew my mind. And it's mind-blowing. And for that, I need cha-cha. I also need the big cha-cha. And I will explain you in a minute. You will understand why. We're doing it live. I've been there I was there like an hour before the tour. And I really didn't want to leave. Okay, look at this. This is a gigantic building over there. And it doesn't look very welcoming. Or it doesn't look very inhabited. It looks like, as my friend put it, it looks like a ghost town. Look at this, it has the cracks. Look at this. It looks like a deserted office building, but it's not. well, I thought it was a music school, and there kind of was a music school, but it moved. And I thought it's huge. It goes all till the end of the street, by the way. But look at the entrance. I thought it was something from the Stalin times. It looks like very much like Stalin's scale. But look at this. This is not Stalin. Or look at that. Look at these doors. They don't look like someone lives here, right? Look at this. This is not Stalin. Right? This is not Stalin. It's not. Or, by the way, look at this house. Look at the wooden element. Look at the wooden roof, the wooden balcony. So, again, you are very far from a downtown, from somewhere with the opulent 19th century bank buildings. Look at this. This does look like a countryside, right? And just grapes, grape wine looking like really nicely. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that decoration. This is not Stalin architecture. This is clearly the very end of the Art Nouveau period. Well, this is again this combination. This is kind of a neoclassic something. Look at that. So I did some research, which wasn't very easy, I would say, and I discovered that this is the building of the real school. It's kind of a college, actually, for boys, built in the imperial times. It was the real school for boys. Basically, real school was kind of a pre-college. It's not really the higher education. They don't really give you like a bachelor's degree even, but you get some, a profession, like some really handy one. So you can become a carpenter, you can become a secretary, you can become, many things. And this school was named after Grand Duke Mikhail Nikolaevich Romanov, and Nicholas II visited the school in his visit in the 1910s. Nicholas II visited Tbilisi shortly before the revolution, somewhat 1915, around that time. And he visited the school and he mentioned it in his diary. And when I read this diary a couple of years ago, and I also did another reading, before the tour, before one of my tours last year as well, because as you know, in this area, there are a bunch of places related to Romanovs. And I remember he mentioned visiting the, real school for boys, but I thought for some reason it was a different school. And now I realize that I was wrong all the way. So, and this building is almost abandoned. People live here, but when I was here, it was quiet. People live here. It's a school building. Nobody's supposed to live here, but for some reason, people live here. And I don't know what they think about anyone who just comes in from the street, but anyone can come in. There is no guards. It's not somebody's property, and this is not their property either. But there is a place I want to show you. So I either need some cha-cha for my, for courage. I need to pluck up my courage and go. And, it's really scary. Jana, thank you so much for the coffees, by the way. And yes, as you know, all my tours are free to join, but they are tip supported, and the tips are absolutely vital for me. So I want to wait for these people to pass. So there is a gem on the second floor. We need to get there. I don't know what they think, so I may either need to just drink some cha-cha from the small bottle, and I'm going to do it now. And then the other cha-cha, if something happens, I will need to give to the people that I will encounter if they're not happy with me, or I will need to protect myself and hit someone with the bottle. So you see, either way, cha-cha can really save your life. But, okay, so before I go, I need some cha-cha. I need an escort, but there's no one with me, just you. So I'm gonna take some of this cha-cha. We're doing it live. Honestly, I must be nuts. And also these tiles. You see? This is not Stalin. This is not Stalin. Yes. I will be very quiet because I don't don't want any extra attention. This is not Stalin. This is not Stalin. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I can hear people talking. Maybe they're just ghosts. Yes, exactly. So, I need to open my cha-cha bottle now. The tiny cha-cha I made. This cha-cha. This one. Like this one. That's me. Taking the cha-cha. A little bit for bravery. But just a little bit. I will also need the balance. Okay. This one also I may need to drop to see if there is floor, on the ground. I'm not joking. Let's go. This is not Stalin at all. This is a school building. And I think this is the perfect venue for a horror movie. It's dark here, but it's bright when we're heading. If you lose me, I will come back. There is electricity in the building as well. I mean, it looks really scary, right? Imagine Nicholas II also walked these rooms and this corridor. These doors are gorgeous too. Used to be, I mean. Now, these steps look solid to me. So, but not that step, but the other steps look solid to me. Okay, I want to be quiet, just not to attract any extra attention. I hope you can hear me like that. The railing, original ironwork. I will focus on that later. People live here. They dry their laundry. We'll talk about it later. Welcome. I'm in. Oh my goodness. We are in the dance hall. The big dance hall of the real school. I mean, do you see what I'm talking about? I mean, this is the absolutely untouched 1900s, early 1900s. Yes. So these people are squatters. I'm pretty sure that's what you call them. They just claim the place. I mean, look at that. I need a cha-cha for it. I need another one. I'm sorry. Honestly, wow. Who would have thought? Yeah, I can almost hear the steps these ghosts are taking. This is absolutely amazing. Look at these details. Oh. I'm not sure what this abbreviation stand for. TRY? Russian. I'm not sure. It's either a real school, like Realное училище. I'm not sure that's what I'm talking about. I will need to find out about it more. And someone just threw a nut over here. Was it a ghost? I'm not sure because I don't see people here. But again, I think this place is haunted. Absolutely haunted. Let's go outside. That's the balcony. People again just drying their laundry here. and we can see the details a little bit better. So you see what I'm talking about? I needed charger for it. This place is scary, but amazing, but scary. Guys, we've done a lot of things together. Hold on a sec. I need to find my cha-cha bottle, my tiny cha-cha bottle. So, my dear friends, we've done a lot of things together, right? We sailed the rivers and canals of St. Petersburg, right? Haven't we? What else did we do together? And then next to somebody's laundry. Let's just film like that next to the laundry. This will really be the absolutely amazing thing. I'm not even done yet, Sharon. So let's just have a little more cha-cha together because I still need to get out, and you're going with me because I don't want to be stuck here in the parallel dimension. So here is to you. We sailed the bumpy waters of the Gulf of Finland. It's 40% alcohol. And normally I don't do this, but this is a very unusual tour for me, very unusual experience. I was so scared to come here for the first time a couple of hours ago. I was so scared, but I knew it was worth it. And then, so we also did a lot of night tours. We did, some bar hopping. We've been for thick and thin. We did some tours with me, during the sirens in Jerusalem. Then we walked past the streets where a lot of, riots were when the war in Ukraine started, right? We did all these things together. We did a lot of, tours that I probably wouldn't be doing now. A good makeup remover. Cha-cha, 40% I think is the good skin remover also. Well, not the skin remover, but like everything kind of remover. Okay, so you could see also the scale. Let's do it the other way around. By the way, if I survive, then we also will be doing with you, 3 more tours. I should be taking you on a walk in the Art Nouveau Avenue of St. Petersburg, right? Then I'm taking you to the Yusupov Garden tonight, I believe. I'm not sure when. I don't know anymore. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, tonight. So tonight I'm taking you to the Art Nouveau Avenue, and we're going inside a 1913, 1915-year house, by the way. We're going to see the lobbies in St. Petersburg. We're going to see the well-shaped courtyards. And we're going to see, the inners, the guts of a beautiful 1915 building. 1915, I mean, the year when the building was finished. Prost. And by the way, the floor is also original. I'm sorry. This gorgeousness is just here on its own. I'm sorry. And I know this bag is here, but I can't let it go because what if I have to run, really, run for my life, and I don't want to leave them here. My cha-cha for Emma, and the coffee cups that were given to me for free, which I could really pay for, but anyway. Thank you so much, Georgian people. You are amazing. You're so generous. You're so kind. And then also today, I'm taking you to the Yusupov Garden, which actually was the cradle of figure skating in the Russian Empire and in the Soviet Union. A lot of stories about that. Yes, Sharon, exactly. So I changed because part of my tours were still scheduled according to Israeli time zone, which is 1 hour difference. And there was, a lap, but now it's all good. I figured it out. So thank you so much for flagging it to me. So now it should be good with no overlaps, with decent gaps between the tours too. And also today I'm taking you to Peterhof about virtual tours. And what are we doing tomorrow? So tomorrow we're coming back for wine, for something else, and for something else. More lobbies, more stuff, more stories. And Then Misha's going to be talking about the perestroika, post-perestroika times economy and lifestyle. Then I'm going to be telling the story of the Henkin brothers, who were amateur photographers. One lived in the Soviet Russia, the other one lived in the 1930s Berlin. Both ended up really badly, but they left us quite a heritage of amateur photographs of everyday life, and then Jerusalem, and well, that's it. I see voices, but I don't see people. It's incredible. It's incredible. I see voices everywhere. I hear voices everywhere. I mean, let's just have another look, and then we will be on our way out. I will put Chacha in the pocket because I probably will need it. I mean, have a look at that. Come on, Joba. I've just seen a kid. Whether if it's a ghost, I wonder if it's a ghost. It could be a ghost. Look at this. I mean, it's all original, untouched, completely. And the floors. Come on, Joba. Come on, Joba. Hello.
Hello. Where are you
Hello. I'm from Israel.
from? Israel?
Yes. Are you going to play football here?
Yes, 50% they play football.
Oh, so it's a football hall now.
Yes.
Very good. It has enough space for football.
Yes.
Amazing. I don't want to show you unless you want it. Wow. Do you live here or you only come to play?
What?
Do you live here or you come to play? You live here. Amazing. Amazing. It's so beautiful. These are the interiors from 1900s. Amazing. Wow.
This is King House, 1994. This is King House, and this is a school and home.
Like a boarding school. Boys lived here also. Yes. Very good. Enjoy the game.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye, bye, bye. Those are people. Yes. Georgian boys. They speak very good English. So I'm not going upstairs because I don't know whether I should. Probably not. Yeah, but we can just, explore a little bit. Again, the steps look very solid to me. Yeah, they're just nice kids, They're very kind. They live here. You can see the ironwork. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be going there, but I'm going. The level of safety in the space. Yes, absolutely. All of a sudden, I have more bravery to go and explore the other floor. The tiles, again, everything. The floors. Very inviting. Well, this doesn't look very inviting. But again, it's just my own associations, from the horror movies. Let's explore the ground floor a little bit more. Let's go. Let's go. There's a beautiful sky. The skies are beautiful. I'm not sure what else we can see there because it's a bit too high for me. And now I'm going downstairs. I still want to show you a few things. And that's from the window you can see the courtyard a little bit, but there's nothing really to see, unfortunately. But just the back side of it, which is very, I would say, ordinary. But the old bricks. Whoa, look, this bricks has the marking. These are the old pre-revolutionary bricks. You see, there's history everywhere you go here. You just need to know where to look for it, honestly. Okay. So we're going again. Well, this looks a bit scary, to be honest. This does look scary. Other than that, not really. this is an absolute gem, pure gem. So what I need is a flashlight. Unfortunately, there are no really, the old photos. At least I haven't been able to find them. I have tons of old photos, but not from these times, not from these places. I know I am overrunning by 10 minutes. My next tour is in 2 hours from now. The tile work. The tile work. Let's explore a little bit more. Well, this looks scary. This looks very scary, like Halloween kind of scary. I still have some cha-cha with me, which is good. The doors. And look at the doors. That's another flight of stairs. Some old elements are still here of the doors. The doors remember it all. Incredible. And more laundry. And this is somebody's apartment. Okay, let's go outside and talk a little bit more of what we have just seen. Again, I don't want to be too emotional and explicit right now. Someone turned on the lights there. Is it the light of hope? Look at these tiles. I knew this is way more special than just an abandoned house. So, and I'm happy that the boys know it. I'm not very happy about them playing football, but I also can understand, so I'm not judging. I'm not really criticizing here because, I mean, this has been so special. Look at these gigantic doors. I mean, what a gem we have discovered together, right? What a gem. Yay! I mean, these doors, I'm sorry. Wow. This can't be Stalin. No. So I'm so happy that I actually walked here because I was just about, just to skip the street because it didn't look it looked cozy and nice and historic, but not historic enough for a virtual tour. Yeah, it must be cold in the winter. But also some rooms, as you know, as you might have seen, they have plastic windows. So maybe people who live here, they kind of invest in, kind of in the comfort. And kids look very healthy to me, by the way. One more sip. Kind of a post. Some adrenaline, a rush of adrenaline. So. Okay, so my cha-cha is safe, so I'm going to send the cha-cha bottle for Emma. That's a good cha-cha, the best cha-cha, as Misha says, and I think Emma agrees, is the cha-cha that is kind of a bit of an amber color, because it's the cha-cha that is stored in a wooden and oak barrels. So, what we have done today with you, we got some coffee cups for free instead of 21 lari, which is 10 US dollars, which would have been $10. I think the protests have already started. I don't know, but we are in the area where protests never come because there is no place for protests. There is just, the past here, honestly. And we got some cha-cha for my mom-in-law. And I have some more cha-cha, which I'm not going to kill this teeny tiny bottle now, but I'm going to have another sip with you all. Virtual party. Um, and then I'm going to say bye-bye for an hour and a half. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking me on this adventure. It's been fun to shop with you for some vintage stuff, for some coffee cups. I bought 3 because I'm expecting a very important guest in a week from now. That is my mom. Thank you for shopping for some cha-cha for my mom-in-law, whom you know as well. And well, thank you for this. So, and you would have protected me again. So I know you somehow would have protected me had something happened, but I knew nothing would happen, but it was still scary. I'm still kind of, my legs are a bit wobbly, you know? So probably sailing in the waters of the Gulf of Finland in a small boat was more scary than this, but it didn't feel that way back then. So, but now I kind of really see the difference. Me too. I will be definitely doing some tours with my mom. There will be definitely a birthday tour later in October. Some Halloween stuff is coming. There's a lot of, you know, that I'm cooking for now. Anyway, here's to you. Cheers. Cheers. Me too. Looking forward to seeing my mom. You know, all of a sudden, it doesn't feel this strong anymore. Just 40% alcohol. Baby cha-cha. Which is definitely not true. I mean, I will definitely feel that in a couple of minutes. You know, it will come. You know, I'm not really strong when it gets to alcohol. I'm not a big drinker, even though I drink now almost at every tour. But actually, I don't. Well, not at every tour, but when you're in Georgia, it's kind of like tomorrow we're going for wine to the same store. Yeah, we are. There are still a bunch of things I haven't showed you. I had to skip it. Like, I struggled not to really start talking about it. So tomorrow we're going to talk about some music, some very important composers. A Nobel Prize winner, by the way, a Nobel Prize winner lived on that street. I didn't even tell you the name of the street. There's also a reason for it. Many stories, many things to taste, many things to try, many people to meet. Maybe we'll see how it goes. And wine, not cha-cha. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I would appreciate your support. You can either send me a PayPal donation, you can buy me a coffee. Please don't buy me alcohol, because please don't. I know I'm being looked at. I know people are looking at me now. Oh, they're ghosts. I don't know. I'm not sure if those boys were real, but they seemed very real and very, very kind and lovely. But nevertheless, you know, it felt so surreal. Yeah, so cha-cha hits you hard. You're very right. It just takes time, but when it's there, you know, it kicks you really, really hits you really hard. It kicks in, and then you're kind of really high. Yeah, so that's it. Now I need to go home and prepare for the 3 other tours, which I need to be really sober for. I'll have some coffee from my new cups, and I will see you tomorrow, same time as well in Tbilisi, and for 3 other tours, for free 3 other tours tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Again, this is the absolute gem, and I'm so happy we have discovered it. And I just wish this house would be saved somehow, and it wouldn't collapse on anyone's heads, hands, anyone's, you know. And look at this yard over there. I mean, like, this doesn't look like the, you know, Tbilisi, but it is Tbilisi, and that's what I love Tbilisi for. There's a lot of untouched corners here, absolutely. Bye-bye, dears.